Fellas, I finally found a great comp, a great inspired by / clone fragrance for Louis Vuitton's Imagination. And I'm going to share it with you guys today. It's worth it. Let's talk about it. What's good, YouTube? BowTie Fragrance Guy here, man. We cover fragrances on this channel, but I throw in some style and grooming content as well. Looking good, smelling great, that's what we get into. So if that's you, if you're into that, make sure you hit subscribe, man. Hit that little subscribe button. Make sure you tap the bell icon as well, so anytime a new video gets uploaded, you guys might get notified. It increases your chances that you'll get notified. There's no guarantee. Just come back and check the channel every day, and that way you'll get it for sure. Just my little advice to you guys. All right, guys, you heard in the intro, I have a new fragrance. I bought this fragrance, and this is the best comp that I have found to Louis Vuitton's Imagination. This fragrance right here, which is almost gone. All right, I use it a lot, and I found a fragrance again that is really, really close to this. Man, I may even say the opening of this is a little bit better. Just a little bit, the opening, but that's about it. But it's really close. I'll get into it in just a moment. I'm gonna run the intro. When we come back, I'll reveal it to you guys. So if you wanna see what fragrance I'm referring to, you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. Let's get it. You don't wanna miss this, fella, seriously. Gotcha.
The BowTie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're gonna get into it now. This fragrance, I'm gonna make sure I link this fragrance to the video. So I'll do it down in the comment section. Also tag it in the description or in the video comments itself. And I'm also gonna link it, if I can, through YouTube Shopping. So if you wanna check it out, you can find it. But if you have been interested in trying Louis Vuitton's Imagination and the price point was a little bit out of your comfort zone, or if you have Louis Vuitton Imagination and you wanted to find something that you can kind of use in its place, because if you're like me and you've been just like absolutely destroying and running through your bottle and you don't want to use it up so quickly, although to refill is not as much as getting an actual bottle, but still, you know, I know this fragrance is kind of expensive and you just need an alternative. This is it. The fragrance, guys, is from Lattafa, and it is called the Art of Arabia #1. And I must say the presentation to me also is relatively nice. Okay, so it comes in this box, and then when you take it out of the box, here you actually have a case that it's in. You know, so again, especially for what you're gonna pay, because from what I've been able to see, this is around $40 to $60. Fellas, go get it. Go get it. When you open it up, again, nice presentation. Here's your bottle. So I do like the presentation. They put a little bit of money into it. And here is the actual bottle. Again, I do like this presentation. This is bergamot, black tea, lavender is in here, ginger, mint, ambroxan, a little bit of cinnamon. So again, very similar note breakdown to Louis Vuitton's Imagination. Let's try the sprayer here. I'll spray this on this hand and then I'll spray Imagination on the other one. I love the opening of this fragrance. I might have been a little bit over the top when I said the opening is better than Imagination. Again, it's an almost dead ringer. All right, so let's spray Imagination on this hand and we'll get into it. This is Art of Arabia. This is Imagination. Again, the opening, almost a dead ringer. We're at about that 95 percentile similarity in the opening of this fragrance. So again, if you are looking for a great alternative to Louis Vuitton's Imagination, guys, so far, this is it. This is the one to get. The opening, again, is hard for me to really distinguish between the two. Just being honest. Now, I'm gonna tell you this. The opening of this fragrance lasts for about 45 minutes. For 45 minutes, this is like a 95% similar fragrance to Imagination. Now, there are some differences. At about that hour mark, that hour standpoint, this fragrance, because Louis Vuitton's Imagination to me is kind of linear, and that's not a problem because I love the way the opening smells so much. I don't mind the fact that it pretty much kind of stays what it is for the duration of your wearing. And I get about 6.5, 7 hours of performance out of Imagination. This one I only get about 4.5 hours. So that is one difference off top, the performance. You're not gonna get the same thing. And this one starts to change a little bit at about that 45-minute to hour mark. At that point, while this stays kind of linear, and it is Louis Vuitton's Imagination, of course, from start to finish, this starts to change a little bit at about that hour mark, all right? There's mint in here, and I honestly don't remember if there's mint in Louis Vuitton Imagination, but the mint in this fragrance is a little bit more amplified in the Art of Arabia than what you get in Imagination, because I do think there is mint in Imagination as well. The main difference that I get with this fragrance, when you get to about that hour mark, and I don't remember smelling anything incensey at all in Imagination, you do get a little bit of this almost earthiness, almost incensey kind of vibe in this fragrance on when it starts to really dry down. And that's something that's a little bit different from Imagination. And it's not anything that is overt or anything that that changes the DNA so much where it's a completely different fragrance per se, but it is something that adds a different dimension to that DNA that you don't get with the original Imagination. Now, I would think with a note like incense or frankincense being in this DNA that it would give it even more longevity, but it doesn't. Again, I'm getting about 4.5 hours out of this fragrance, whereas I get about 6.5 to 7 hours out of Imagination. So there is a difference there when it comes to performance. So at the end of the day though, like I said, this fragrance pretty much, especially that first hour, is a 95% similar fragrance to Imagination. So I say overall, because it does change at about that 45-minute to an hour mark, it does start to have a little bit of a smokiness to it, a little bit of an incensey kind of presence to that fragrance. I would say overall, I'd put it at about 90% similar fragrance. So do I think it's worth it to spend between $40 to $60 for a fragrance that smells as close as it does to Imagination? Obviously, I would say yes, because I bought it. And especially for you guys that are looking for a great alternative. This is the best one that I've smelled so far. A great alternative to Louis Vuitton Imagination. You need to check out the Art of Arabia. Arabia, again, is from Lattafa Parfums. And I think the bottle is pretty dope as well, just to give you another look at the bottle. I think it's worth the pickup, man. So, like I said, I'm gonna make sure that I link it down below. And it'll also be tagged in the YouTube shopping if you want to check it out. I'll kind of scour the internet to see where I can find the best price for, so that you guys can pick it up if you would like. But I 100% recommend it if you're looking for or have been interested in getting Louis Vuitton and you fall into one Imagination and you fall into one of those categories that I talked about earlier, whether you have it and want to get an alternative so you don't run through your bottle, or if you've been wanting to try it and it was kind of a little bit out of your comfort zone as far as price range, boom, I got the fix for you. Art of Arabia, #1 from the brand of Lattafa. This stuff is, in my opinion, the best interpretation clone inspired by a fragrance of Louis Vuitton Imagination that I've found on the market so far. But gentlemen, that is it. That is my time. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Remember, I'm going to link it down below if you want to check it out. As always, I sincerely appreciate your time and attention to these videos. I know you guys don't have to watch, but you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. Now, don't forget, fellas, take a few moments to like, comment, and subscribe. Please make sure you're sharing these videos out to some other folks out there that you think, could use the information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy. I'm the BowTie fragrance guy, that is. I love looking good and smelling great. That's what we do. So until next time, keep watching, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.